Hello, everyone. Welcome to another student session. My name is Dakota Gates, and I am a second year at USD studying engineering with a focus in business. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and some things I'm involved with on campus are student ambassadors, Torreira tour guides, Alpha Delta Pi sorority, and Less Than Three Hip Hop Club. In today's student session, we'll be discussing the College of Arts and Sciences. As we know, many of you probably have questions regarding classes, how the overall experience would work, and what better than to talk to students who currently go to USD and have had all those experiences. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce our panelists. We can start with Cameron if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Cameron. I'm currently a senior at USD, majoring in environmental studies, and I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. And things I'm involved in on campus is I'm also an Alpha Delta Pi sorority with Dakota, and I am a Torreira ambassador, and I'm involved with university ministries.
Awesome. Caitlin?
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I am a senior at USD as well. I'm majoring in political science with minors in Spanish and communication studies, and I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area. So some things that I'm involved with on campus are Torreira tour guides. I'm also a member of the honors program and the club coordinator for the honors club.
Amazing. And Lily?
Hi, I'm Lily. I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in international relations with a minor in Spanish. I'm from just south of Seattle, Washington. And some things I'm involved in are Gamma Phi Beta sorority, Torreira tour guides, and the pre-law frat Phi Alpha Delta.
Awesome. So without further ado, I was just wondering, I know so many people have so many expectations and thoughts coming into college in general. Did you guys have any regarding your academics? Did you know what you wanted to major in? Did anyone help you decide? We can start with Lily.
Yeah, I honestly had no expectations coming in. I knew that I wanted to be in the College of Arts and Sciences. And besides that, I was just super excited about the core curriculum here. Just knowing that within that kind of sector, I was going to be able to explore and kind of like find my way and what I wanted to major in, just kind of through taking all sorts of classes.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat myself. I actually was originally planning on majoring in chemistry. And then I went to a medical conference when I was in high school, saw live surgery, and realized quite quickly that the medical field is not for me at all. I did take a politics class my senior year of high school, so I was leaning toward it, but going into USD, I'm so glad that you enter undecided because I truly had no idea until second semester freshman year. That was when I realized that political science really was the path that I wanted to take. So going in completely different from what I ended up doing.
Yeah, I guess I had the same experience as well. I came in completely undecided at USD. I had like no idea what I wanted to do. So kind of what was shared, I just liked that the scheduling and kind of the core curriculum allowed you to explore a lot of things. And that was something that I thought was really helpful and important for me.
Yeah, I feel like so many of us are in the same boat with that. And for those who don't know, USD actually, even though you state your preference of what you'd like to study, everyone comes in undeclared and you have 2 years to actually declare your major. So even though you can declare it within those 2 years at any point, like I did at the end of my first year, they really give you that flexibility. And another thing that really helps is USD does plan your first semester schedule. So you don't have to worry about all the classes and times and all of that because they will just email you a schedule. And then if you really have a conflict with that, you can modify it. But that definitely helped me at least my freshman year. How were your schedules like that first semester, first year? Did you take any classes around your major? I know it was a lot of general classes, but if so, like what were those classes and how did they affect you?
Yeah, I can go. So I did not take any classes around my major at all. My LLC class first semester was actually Shakespeare. But what was really interesting about it was that it actually incorporated a lot of social justice elements, which kind of like prompted me to look for some of those aspects in my schedule for the following semester. But I agree when you say it's so nice just to not have to worry and not like think, oh, am I making the wrong decision? Like, should I be doing this? Would that benefit me better? Because everyone has such a level playing field.
Yeah, like Lily mentioned, the LLC class that I took was also really helpful in my first semester. I took one called Power and Justice, and it was a political science class. It has been by far the hardest class that I've taken in all my 4 years, and I never thought I would say that ever. But it was such a difficult class. The professor was an ex lawyer, and so he taught a ton of law classes here at USD and was just ready to really integrate all of the freshmen in that class into what a college experience is like. And it was a great class. It's something that during it was horrific. Oh my gosh, so much reading, so many Socratic discussions. And I remember telling myself that if I still liked politics and political theory after taking this class, that I should major in it. So it actually was the biggest reason that I did decide to continue with political science. And I'm super thankful I did. The LLC classes have been such a key component of my education here at USD. And I've absolutely loved meeting the people in them. You live with the same people who you're in those LLC classes with. So I remember late night studyings for his class, just running to my friend's door at like midnight, 1 a.m. and begging her to teach me, this one thing that Hobbes said during, his take. So it's a really helpful class, I think, and it does kind of lead you on that path that you're hoping to discover here at USD.
I would say that I had a pretty good schedule as well. A lot of diverse classes. I took architecture, something I never thought I would take, but I liked it. I liked that you get to like work with your hands a lot, and it was just very different and something, that I never saw myself taking in college. But one difficult thing for me was that I did have a 7:45 a.m. class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I am not a morning person. So that was really hard for me to get up and get there in the morning. But luckily, I lived in Founders, which is directly located on campus and was located right across from the building I needed to get to in the morning. So it was an easy commute to get there. And for that, I was really thankful.
Love Founders. I also lived in Founders, and it is very convenient. But I know a lot of you mentioned your LLC class. Just so students know, your advisor is your LLC Living Learning Community advisor. We'll talk about that more in another video of what that exactly means. But and until you declare, that will be your advisor. And then once you do declare your major, you'll get your own advisor that you will have for the rest of the 4 years. And I was just wondering how your advisors played a role in your schedule, just in general, helping you out throughout your semester years. And you could talk about either your LLC or your like declared major advisor, or if there's any other faculty.
Yeah, so my advisor was the professor of the class that, destroyed me mentally that first semester. But it helped so much, truly. And his instruction style and the way that he was so open and receptive to his students during his office hours really helped me feel comfortable and confident in my education here at USD. He taught me how to really time manage, how to study efficiently, how to just thrive in really difficult classes in college, because there is a pretty big change from high school classes to college level courses. And I really think that the advisor I had helped us adapt to that. He was super open with wanting us to come into his office hours and talk to him if we had any problems or were confused about anything, or even just to get to know us. And I think that's been a common theme that I've seen among my professors here at USD, is just they're so open to wanting to get to know their students, to wanting to help them thrive and to do really well in their classes, and also just as a student here at USD. So building my schedule with my advisor every semester, it was a good time. I told him about the classes that I was hoping to take, and he would tell me if that aligned with me graduating in 4 years and also fulfilling my major and my minor requirements. A lot of the time he would say, just draft the schedule, send it to me, and I'll let you know if anything needs to be changed. So that really worked for me personally. But I know that a lot of professors do that differently. Some are more involved with their students in terms of schedules, and others are a little bit more laid back. So I think it's really finding that one professor that you really click with, that helps you grow as a person and a student, and then just seeing the kind of schedules that they'll help you with.
Yeah, what really resonated with me about that, I think my first advisor that I had, she was fantastic. And she was really ready to meet you where you were, I think, was something that I really took away from working with her. She knew when to be hands off, but she also kind of knew like if you needed that little push. So, especially with registering for classes, I felt comfortable to go to her with any questions I had, even after our initial meeting for registration. And overall, she was just so great because she knew that we were all freshmen and trying to kind of find our place. And so we went to Balboa Park to the Old Globe Theater, and we got to see a show. And she was just so awesome and made it feel just so welcome, and like really made our class feel like a community. She organized dinners for us at the restaurant on campus. She was just super phenomenal. Um, and now my new advisor, I just declared my major this semester. And he's awesome. He was my professor before he was my advisor, and he went to law school and he got his law degree. And so we kind of chatted just right off the bat. And I know now that he's really there for me with anything that I need. Like, he has the resources, he has the knowledge. And so just any way you go with whatever advisor you have first, or the one that you end up with after you declare, like, they really are there to work with you and be there for you. So I've been really, really appreciative of both of my advisors so far.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with the both of you. And I think for me, my advisor from my major has been really helpful. Our relationship is definitely more like laid back, I would say. I kind of just send him my schedule every semester and be like, hi, can you look this over for me? And he'll do that. But when I was first declaring the major, he was very helpful in like showing me the course catalog and all the classes that I will need to take for this major and all of that. And I guess even outside of classes, he has been helpful because when I was doing my research and had questions about what like statistical tests to run, or like not really sure what to do, I reached out to him because that's one of the classes that he teaches, and he was really helpful in walking me through all of that. So I would say your advisors are not only there for you for your courses and scheduling and just helping you to graduate, but they also really care about your learning as well, even if they're not directly the professor or directly involved in it. So I thought that was really helpful.
Yeah, totally. It's so nice to have like so many faculty members that you can go to. I definitely loved both my LC advisor and my current advisor. It's so cute. Even though I don't have any classes anymore with my LC advisor, she like texts me from time to time. It's just like, hi, I remember the mug you got me. When I drink from it, I think of you. I'm like, that's so cute. But switching gears a little bit, I'm wondering, I know, Caitlin, you already touched on the hardest yet most amazing class at USD, but Cameron and Lily, did you have a class, or Caitlin, if you have another one that you really want to share, that you felt really impacted you or changed your perspective in any way at USD?
Yeah, I can share. My first semester at USD, I took an intro to sociology course. And it's kind of funny because I was thinking about dropping it in the beginning because I kind of already had the credit. And I was talking to the teacher, and she's like, well, it's up to you. It's like, I'll just stick it out, see how this goes, you know? but it ended up probably being one of my favorite classes I've ever taken at USD just because the professor was so sweet, so kind. She like really encouraged class participation and just for people to kind of get involved and share their life experiences, which I thought was nice and kind of cultivating like a community within the class. And also because I've never taken a sociology class before. So a lot of the things that we talked about, I had never really thought about or learned about. So it's just something very different. And I thought was a good introduction for my college experience and kind of like the avenues I wanted to um, like look more into, like be more social justice oriented and kind of help me to realize what I'm passionate about. So that was a really impactful class for me.
Yeah, for me, it was my first semester freshman year, and it was Christianity and its practices, just kind of fulfilling that lower division religion requirement. It was with Dr. Carter. And honestly, religion classes really intimidated me coming into USD. I did go to Catholic school, but I'm Jewish. So being put kind of randomly into a class about Christianity, I was kind of excited to branch out and maybe try something new. So it was a little bit intimidating at first, but honestly, Dr. Carter is just fantastic. And he put so many different perspectives that I never thought of before into my head. It was nothing that I'd ever learned about in like my 12 years of grade school experience. And it was just really different. And it was a class that I was really excited to go to every time I had it. And that was just like a really big surprise for me. Halfway through the semester when I was like, I want to write this paper right now because he's there for me. And he kind of like, through the content that he gave us, he also was kind of helping me discover my own faith identity, like in a new way that I hadn't really thought of before. So I really think it was a super transformative class and it really gave me a good introduction, especially to like the religious element of academics here. And just with that religious requirement, it really took off all the fear that I had within the first couple of weeks of the class. So it was really awesome.
That is awesome. And I think it's really cool that a lot of our favorite classes don't have anything to do necessarily with our path and that we hope to take career-wise. And I just feel like that speaks to USD's like themes of education, of just like the whole person. Because I definitely feel like my favorite classes also had nothing to do with what I wanted to study necessarily. But outside of just academics, were there any things you participated in outside of your classes, whether that be a job, internship, club, anything that was an asset to your academic experience, but like maybe more career oriented?
Yeah, definitely. Even though I'm a political science major, I'm planning on getting my master's in public relations this coming fall. So that honestly does not have a ton to do with political science. And really, the only reason I started looking into communication and that field was because of the Torreira Treks that our Career Development Center has here on campus. I went on one my second semester of freshman year, and it was in LA. It was to explore the entertainment sector, and I realized that that was an avenue that I wanted to explore more. So through taking communication classes at USD, I was able to see that public relations seems to be the path for me in terms of career. And so with that, I tried to be as active in clubs in those kind of settings, I suppose. I worked as a publicity officer for a club here on our campus my freshman year. And then I started being the treasurer for the honors club at one point. And then I was also working as the communication chair for that honors club. And now I'm the club coordinator for it. So I've been trying to really kind of do things here at USD that'll help me build up those career experiences, will look better on a resume, especially in the field that I'm trying to go into, which is all about, communication. So I really have the Career Development Center to thank for that. I had no idea what I wanted to do after college, and that was just a really recent revelation for me over the past year. So definitely without that Torreira Trek my freshman year, I would not have even considered communication studies as a potential career avenue for me.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with a Torreira Trek, just in kind of like a little bit more of like revelation of what I wanted to do or where I could go. I was undeclared when I went on the trek, and it was up in Seattle. So we did a bunch of really awesome companies, but one that really stuck out to me was Microsoft. And not because I have anything to do with technology or business or anything like that, but during a panel, an alumni panel there, I just asked, is anyone here not a business major or a STEM major? Like, is there a path for me here? And one woman raised her hand. She was like, I was an English major. Like, there are opportunities. We got to connect after the panel was over. I have her LinkedIn, I have her email. We've messaged, and it was honestly just really kind of a confidence boost, honestly, to really know that whatever major I had, I could go wherever I wanted with it, and nothing was going to kind of hold me back. And so I was really able to kind of like further dive into what I really wanted to do, like with that knowledge that I really could do anything I wanted. And so I just really wanted to focus on my own academics and learn what I wanted to learn, and know that the right opportunities would end up coming from that.
That's awesome. And kind of going off of that, oh, by the way, Torreira Treks, for those of you who don't know, USD offers a really unique experience to students where they can, as both Lilly and Caitlin kind of described, you go into an environment of a potential field like Microsoft, Disney, like Amazon, so many different companies. USD like takes the students, and you get a really like hands-on approach to potential career paths in that company or that field. And it's super cool. I definitely want to do one. I'm only a second year and COVID happened. So I have not gotten a chance to do that yet, but I really hope to soon. And kind of going off of that, as a final question, considering everything, what has been the most meaningful experience for you within your time at USD, related to your major, but also maybe like your future career, or anything related to that?
I can share. So during my time at USD, I was fortunate enough to study abroad with the School for Field Studies in Tanzania. And how I first heard about this program was through the environmental and ocean science curriculum. It was something that was like really advertised to students as like a good way to go abroad and do a lot of courses that pertain to your major. And also a big plus was that you'd be able to complete a research experience, which is one of the requirements of the environmental and ocean studies major. So that was really helpful for me to kind of go abroad and do something fun while also taking a lot of important classes that'll help me to graduate. And that experience was just really amazing because yeah, I got to do my research, and that was great because I got to focus more on like wildlife conservation, which is something I'm really interested in pursuing in the future, and also gave me a good perspective on like how other countries kind of handle their environmental policy and things like that, and just a totally different cultural experience. So that was really important to me, and I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that.
I definitely had a similar experience where my study abroad time was also one of the most meaningful parts of my USD education. I studied at the USD Madrid Center, which is a satellite campus that USD has in Spain. And it was just such an amazing experience. They had something called a travel seminar class that you took. And I was lucky enough to do a political science one of those. So we were able to travel around Spain for the first 10 days of the trip with your entire program. And all the sites that we went to, we talked about the political impact of those sites, history that had happened there. And it was just amazing. It was really an awesome opportunity to see what politics is like in a different country, to really build up your cross cultural communication skills, and to also get that global perspective just in life. I think that's a really important part of careers nowadays, especially with everything becoming more international and global. Having that perspective of having spent time in another country, having spent time with a family in a country, living with a homestay, that's really invaluable, I think, for careers. And I feel so blessed to have been able to do that during my time at USD. And I think that's honestly my biggest recommendation. If you're ever able to do that during your college experience, and you have the funds for it, I highly recommend studying abroad because it is just such an amazing experience and it looks fantastic on resumes and just a great life experience too.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to study abroad. Hoping it'll happen soon. I'm just a second year, so we'll see. But that's something that I'm super looking forward to. But honestly, like kind of a little bit more broad in my experience has just been being a part of the Spanish department and kind of getting to know the Spanish department at USD. I'm a Spanish minor, and that might be able to change to a major depending on scheduling. But I've been taking Spanish since I was like 12, and I really didn't feel like it started to click until I got to college and I started to interact with the Spanish department here. And all of my professors that I've had so far have just been really great. And not only like teaching me the language, but just kind of like, teaching me about what it means to be a Spanish speaker and to interact with other Spanish speakers. And I'm just really looking forward to using that in my life, in my career, hopefully. I think it's so important, and just the location being in San Diego itself has been super, super important for my education as well. And I would say that's definitely like a big takeaway, a very big, like kind of impactful setting that I've been able to kind of immerse myself in more since I've been here.
That's awesome. What a nice note to end on. Thank you all so much for doing this. And for those watching, if you have any questions, please comment them down below. We'll either respond in the comments or we can even make another video if there are more questions after this conversation that we had. But overall, thank you guys so much and bye.